Achtung, Achtung. Here's Alex Wright. You're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.
All right, we're back, and we are joined by Alex Wright, Das Wunderkind. Welcome to In Your Head.
Thank you.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, almost. It's been a long time since I heard that name, the Wunderkind, but that's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where did you get that nickname?
Well, I really don't know. I guess because I was really young, you know, when I came to the States, and I was only 18 years old, and, you know, I fought matches against all those stars like Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and, you know, Steve Austin, and, you know, I was still young. That's probably why I was the Wonder Kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, let everybody know, you got the wrestling school now. It's ProWrestlingSchool.de, the Right Stuff Pro Wrestling School. And that's in Germany?
That's in Germany, Nuremberg, Germany, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wanted to provide the people over here the chance that they can really learn the profession from the bottom, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of possibility for the people over here to learn the profession pro wrestler. So I just want to give them an opportunity over here.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know.
You mentioned wrestling, like all the legends, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Were you nervous at all, you know, being so young and being there with, you know, such greats?
Not really. I mean, of course it was a unbelievable experience, but I grew up in the wrestling business. My father, Steve Wright, wrestled over 26 years, and like I said, I grew up in the business, and I always was in the wrestling ring, and I started training when I was like 3 years old. My father taught me the first moves and holds, and when I was 8 years old, I you know, did almost full time the training. So I was kind of nervous, but not really, you know, just maybe for the first minute, and then you just focus on that, what you are doing in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Did you learn a lot from those guys?
Of course. I mean, Ric Flair, it's besides my father, my big idol, you know. I mean, he's an unbelievable wrestler and unbelievable entertainer.
Do you still watch wrestling now?
Yes. I followed WWE and I followed TNA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wanted to see my old colleagues, how they perform.
Right. Yeah, and if, you know, and the guys you trade, you know, maybe someday they could come to the States and wrestle for WWE or TNA.
Well, that would be nice, you know, if they ever make it over there. That would be, at least I want to give them a chance to, you know. I mean, with the Right Stuff Pro Wrestling School, that's a good start over here in Europe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost no possibility, like I said before.
Has classes started yet?
No, they will start in end of April, beginning May. But there's a big, how do you say in English? A lot of people ask me about, you know,
criteria.
Good response, yes.
You were, you know, talking about your training since you were 3 and full time since you were 8.
Yes.
Are you going to use a lot of like your father's techniques when you're training in your school?
Yes, yes, definitely. I will teach my students the basics, wrestling basics. You know, holds, submission holds, all the old school wrestling, and also high flying, and also, you know, the big spots, you know, big super moves and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the basics and the new moves.
Yes.
Did you see anything that you didn't like at the power plant?
Not really, no. It was just a little bit different than the European style, but I learned a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard. It was real hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 days a week, the whole day.
How was Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker to train with?
He was, can I say, a tough bastard?
Yeah.
No, he was a real good guy, real good teacher, and I was real happy to have a guy like him, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you have to be a tough bastard to you know, train the guys?
Yeah, I guess so. Because there's a lot of people out there who think, you know, who think that the pro wrestling is fun and it's real easy, and they have no respect for the business. And you know, you really have to show them what's all about it, and you have to teach them the respect for the business, basically. That's just,
Are you retired from full-time wrestling?
Well, I wouldn't say retired. I just took the time out, because I was really burned out after, at the end of WCW. Everybody knows that the backstage politics were really bad, and that really burned me out. And I just wanted to take a time off from wrestling, be away from all of the business. And I moved over to Germany, built a house, did a lot of traveling, and now I'm back to wrestling. I'm still.
You talked about wrestling Ric Flairs and Arn Andersons at a young age. Do you think you talked about the politics? Do you think they kept like the younger guys down from becoming like main event stars?
No, not Ric Flair. No, he always featured the young stars. He was always on the side from the young guys. But certain other people, they definitely did that. Yes.
You want to give us any names here?
Well, I don't think I have to mention any names. Through the internet, everybody knows today who those people are, right?
Right. Yeah. I think so.
Did you read the Death of WCW book?
Pardon me?
Did you ever read the Death of WCW book?
No, I haven't.
Okay. What was your question there, Incher?
I was just going to ask a question from the message board. Jason X from the message board, he wants to know, who was your favorite opponent?
My favorite opponent? That's pretty tough, because I had a couple favorite opponents. I mean, I enjoyed really wrestling Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, of course, Chris Jericho, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson. I mean, there's so many,
Did you like to work like different styles then? Because all those guys are different.
Yes, exactly. That's the reason why. Because I could have with anybody of them a whole different style of match, but still have a great match. I really enjoyed that.
Do you think that hurt WCW when the whole group of radicals left the WWE? It was like Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero.
Well, of course it did hurt, because those were the guys who the people wanted to see. I mean, they're great wrestlers, great performers, and that's not a good sign for a company if a bunch of top wrestlers leave the company.
Right. You have a question from the board, Incher?
XT, he wants to know, did you enjoy your runs with the TV title and the Cruiserweight title?
Of course. Who wouldn't enjoy a title run, right?
Right.
Oh, for sure.
I would be stupid of saying no. No, definitely, yes, I did.
Did you ever Did you ever think you'd one day be the world champion?
Not really, but I mean, you always have that dream. But since I wasn't one of the big guys, heavy guys, it wasn't really my goal to be the heavyweight champion. I just wanted to have always good matches, for the fans out there, to entertain my fans. And I've always, shown that I'm a good wrestler, that I'm a good talent,
I think everyone wants to know where you learned your dance moves.
The dance move? Well, since I'm a German, and in Germany, techno is really popular. Years before it came to the States, actually. That was actually my when I went out here in Germany, my move. Try to get the girls,
Did it work?
Of course it did. Man, I've been married now for 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it worked too good.
I've always heard that you had a singing career in Germany. Is that true?
No, that's a rumor. I did two songs, but I wouldn't recommend listening to them.
You want to give us any lines here?
No, I really can't. I mean, that was more or less rap.
Oh,
okay. They had me singing, but then they figured out I can't sing, so they had me rapping, and plus they had a good computer, so, you know how it is.
Yeah, Richard knows. He tries to make us sound good on here.
Okay.
So you won't be singing us any 99 Loof balloons?
No, definitely not.
Do you have another question, Richard?
XT once again. He wants to know what it was like working with Deborah.
Deborah? Well, she was a real nice-looking lady, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was hard to focus. It was hard to focus on the match. You know.
Mm-hmm.
No, she was really professional. Real nice lady.
Did Mongo ever have any problems with her managing other people?
No, I don't think so. He was a really nice guy too. I mean, really nice guy.
Mm-hmm. I guess it was your first pay-per-view match was with the young Triple H. What was it like working with him?
I was great. I mean, he was a great talent. You know, we just both started in WCW at the time, and I really enjoyed working him. And I mean, he did the right thing in leaving WCW and going to WWE. You know, I mean, he deserves everything he achieved.
Mm-hmm. Did they ever want you to go to WWE at any time?
Well, WWE approached him a couple of times, yes. But I don't know. Maybe it's because of my roots that I'm German. German are more, I would not say loyal. How would you say? In the States you're more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
In Germany we're all like, but once you build a house, you live your whole life there, and you work in one company for your whole life and stuff like that. And maybe that's the reason why I never left WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never had big problems in WCW.
Right.
I mean, the money was always good, and
So
I liked the wrestling over there. I liked my colleagues over there, so I really had no big reason to leave.
Yeah. When WWE bought WCW, did they offer you a contract then?
Well, they couldn't because I was directly signed by Time Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was one of the only few.
Mm-hmm. And you said you wanted out by that point. You wanted to take some time off.
Yes, because of all the backstage politics, I mean, that at the end of WCW, that really was too much. I mean, it killed all my desire for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could be as good as you want and always do what the bookers want, but if for some reason they didn't like you, you had no chance.
Yeah. What do you think the company, do you think it was a good idea to bring in Vince Russo?
No. Not at all.
Yeah. How did you think it changed, like, when he took over from Eric Bischoff?
Well, I don't think Vince Russo fit into the company's picture because I always thought that WCW had different viewers than WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And he was WWE style totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. WCW is always more kind of a sports-oriented.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the older audience.
Yes, exactly.
Rio's from the message board. He wants to know what's your thoughts on the Berlyn character and the Wall.
Well, to the Wall, he was a very good friend of mine, and it's really sad that he had to go so early. And he had a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
Great athlete, but too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And well, the Berlyn character, I thought it was a great gimmick. There was a lot of potential. Was wronged, was debuted at the wrong time, and was used the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Was that a Dusty Rhodes idea, the Berlyn character?
No, actually, it was my idea to do a whole makeover, and I wanted that shock value, because I always had to do that pretty boy shit thing, and I just wanted to be more serious. And so I talked to my good friend Diamond Dallas Page, and we figured out some, gimmicks, and that was the final thing we ended up with. And then we talked to Dusty, and then.
Why do you think it ended so quick?
Pardon me?
Well, why do you think they stopped it?
Why do you think? Well, like I said, it was debuted at the wrong time. I mean, wasn't there the Columbine shooting,
Oh, right.
And my look was just similar like those people who shot all those poor school kids. And then, of course, Vince Russo came right into the company right at my debut time, which wasn't good for me either because Vince Russo didn't want to use anything what Eric Bischoff started.
Right.
And those were the two main reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was Russo's ideas to use you?
Well, actually, I think he didn't like that gimmick at all, just because of the fact that it came from,
from somebody else.
Eric. Yeah, exactly. Eric. So I don't know what kind of future plans he had for me, if he had any at all.
Right. What did you think about the match you had with Hacksaw Jim Duggan? I think it was a Fall Brawl '99. Yes,
that was basically the fault of the bookers, because they explained to him this gimmick totally different than they explained it to me.
Right.
So Hacksaw was a good guy, and if they would have explained that different to him, he would have worked professionally.
You have a question from the board, Incher?
Rios, he wants to know, is Disco Inferno the coolest guy or what?
Well, definitely the funniest guy.
Oh,
I just know.
Was he a big ribber or anything behind the scenes?
Pardon me?
Was he a big ribber or anything? Did he play a lot of jokes or anything behind the scenes?
He was really funny, but he did not play that many jokes.
Yeah.
He got played on.
Were there any big... what were you saying, Incher?
I was just wondering, who did you spend the most time traveling with while in WCW?
Oh, man, the first couple of years, there weren't that many wrestlers actually on the contract. The first couple of years I traveled with Johnny B. Bad, Mark Merrill, Sting, Bagwell, Disco, Harlem Heat. I got along with almost everybody.
Yeah.
And then the following years was Benoit and Eddie, Chavo, Kidman, it was almost everybody. And the last couple of years I stayed by myself, Was just too.
Since you were there before, Nitro really got big, were you surprised how big Nitro got and the NWO and everything?
Well, not really. There were a lot of great talents in WCW, and NWO was a real great storyline. So,
oh yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. Was there ever any talks about putting you into the NWO?
No. That wasn't the time for me. The storyline was great, but for characters or gimmicks that weren't included in the storyline, it wasn't a good time.
Yeah.
But nothing left for the show. It was great and for the viewer.
Would you have liked to been in the NWO, or maybe worked against the NWO?
Maybe against it. I don't know if I would fit into the NWO.
Right.
I don't know if a German can be as cool as the NWO.
I had a couple Japanese guys in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Japanese, they're flexible and stuff like that.
How were the outsiders to behind the scenes?
Well, actually, they're just as cool like on TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, really relaxed. Yeah. Real easy.
You talked about Disco Inferno. Did you like the tag team, the Dancing Fools?
Well, there's two sides on that. I like the more serious wrestling, so I did not always like the tag team, this Disco, because it was a great entertainment. The people liked us for all the entertainment part, but I wanted to show my wrestling, and I probably would have enjoyed it much better being singles wrestler.
Yeah. When that was later in your career, you probably wanted to, it's like you talked about breaking out into a different character like Berlyn.
Yeah.
And here you're doing the dancing again.
Yeah, I know.
Anyone ever try to shoot with you or anything in the ring?
Shoot with me in the ring? No.
Yeah. No. Because there's a rumor that Paul Roma was fired for trying to hurt your leg or something.
No. He didn't hurt me at all. That's just a rumor.
Oh, okay. That was one of our fans asked that one, Buck.
No.
Finlay effect. He has a reoccurring question that he always asks, and he wants to know what your thoughts of Finlay are.
Unbelievable wrestler. A real tough guy, and just amazing. I've been watching him since I've been 6 years old. He wrestled in the same promotion like my dad did for a long time.
You surprised to see him? He's almost a main eventer now in WWE after really not wrestling for years.
Right. Well, not really. I mean, he's an unbelievable talent, like I said, and sooner or later, if you're on talent, they have to put you up there, you know.
I think that's definitely a guy that WWE is a lot better than WCW.
Yes, definitely. But there's a lot of guys who WWE uses better than WCW. Right. You know, the problem was WCW had all the potential. You know, the guys saw all the potential, but they never exactly knew how to use them the right way.
Did you enjoy working for Eric Bischoff?
The first couple of years, definitely yes. I mean, he was a fair boss, and he was a really smart businessman at that time, but at the end of WCW, I think he got so involved in all that backstage politics that he lost his own goals, you know.
You know, once things started going down, you think you changed?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he probably had too much stress, and he didn't know.
Did you see that WCW was on the downward spiral?
Yes, actually, yes. You actually could feel that every day you've been in the locker room. I mean, it was just awful in the locker room. You know, people, you know, no motivation, no excitement anymore. You know, every day some BS. You know, I mean, and the ratings went down also. You know. I mean, if you think about when Nitro debuted, you had full houses, and at the end of Nitro, you went to California with 600 people in the house. You know.
Did you ever think it would end, though?
Pardon me again?
Did you ever think WCW would end?
Somehow I can't understand you.
He's wondering, did you ever think it would actually end, though? That it would actually?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
You did.
As soon as I knew Vince Russo got hired, I knew that.
Yeah. You talked about, you know, like the sports fan, more of a sports-oriented fan that watched WCW. Do you think? What did you think when David Arquette won the title?
Well,
you know, it's always hard to say something about stuff like that. I think it's a good entertainment part, but I really don't like matches when pro wrestlers work against non-wrestlers.
Right.
Because that hurts the business, I think. You know, because there can't be a good match, you know. I mean, it could be an entertaining match, but I don't like it. You know, I may be old school, you know, since I'm second generation wrestler, but I really don't like that.
Do you enjoy working in Japan?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Is there any reason you didn't go over there more often?
Well, because I was on the contract with WCW, you know. I mean, if I get an offer now from New Japan or Old Japan or whatever, I would go in a minute, you know. I mean, I wouldn't say that because right now I want to focus on my wrestling school, but once this is straightened out, then I would go, yeah.
How are you doing health-wise?
Pretty good, actually, you know. I mean, all the time off, working out every day, no traveling, you know, no bad bumps.
Right.
Yeah.
No, actually, you heal pretty much up. Yeah. I mean, you have your little aches, but every wrestler has that sooner or later.
Would you want to start your own federation in Germany?
No. First of all, my goal is to build my own wrestling school here, and you know, have a positive influence on the future of the sport over here. That's actually a big goal over here because the image of pro wrestling is not the same like it's in the States, you know. In the States, it's a real everybody watches pro wrestling, you know. And in Germany, it's not like that, you know.
Are there like current federations in Germany where the guys can go and wrestle after they train with you?
Oh yeah. I work already with a couple of them together, and there's definitely a chance if you're in my wrestling school that you get a match booked with one of those local promotions.
Is there any other trainers in the school besides yourself?
No, because I want to teach them all my experience. There shouldn't be any other guy who's telling them. You know, when the student says, well, he got I mean, he trained in my school. That should mean something.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm the only trainer.
Yeah. You don't just want your name on it. You if they train at the Alex Wright School, you want to be the actual trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
That's
I really wanted
Pro Wrestling School.
Pardon me?
I was just plugging it. It's Bright Stuff Pro Wrestling School.
No, it's the right stuff.
The right stuff.
The right stuff. Yes, of course. The right stuff Pro Wrestling School. Yeah. I mean, it would be great if some of the guys of the States come over here and want to train.
Mm-hmm.
Learn their European style a little bit.
Yeah. Do you think it's good to learn all the different styles? From different countries?
Yes, definitely. Because you always have to figure that you may not become ever a contract with one of the two big companies right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're able to work all over the world if you know every style. If you European style you can work over here. If you know the Japanese way to work, then you can. It's just flexible.
Do you think that's something that's missing in some of the newer guys? So one time like Benoit and Eddie and all those guys worked all over the world.
Yes, definitely. In the newer guys, it's definitely missing. But they don't have to learn it because they have good contracts with WWE. Why should they learn this? They have no. They don't need it.
You got a question from the board, Incher?
Knight Rider. He wants to know: would you go to TNA if offered a contract?
That's a good question. Like I said before, I want to focus on my wrestling school right now, but I'm also a professional, so if the offer is a good offer, I definitely would consider that.
Yeah. What's your feelings on the TNA product?
I think it's a real good product,
Mm-hmm.
but a couple things I don't like too much. But I'm happy that TNA exists because it's like a little
place for people to work.
Yeah, because it's hard. If there's just WWE, they can dictate everything to the wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good alternative.
Do you think they're making some similar mistakes that WCW made when they brought in Russo and they're having more kind of crazy storylines, kind of more like WWE?
Yes. I think so. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know the exact ratings now, what they have, but too much like WWE stories. Why would you want to copy WWE storylines? Because they're the number one in the market already.
Right, exactly.
So you just get the leftovers, or why would anybody watch then the TNA when you can watch the WWE? Right. So you have to be different than the WWE product. And that's what WCW did at the beginning. They focused more on the, sport.
Yeah, it was more X Division.
Serious storylines,
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what Eric Bischoff said when he was on here.
Yeah.
He said, you have to be different than, or you're going to be less than.
Exactly.
Yeah, a question from the board, Incher?
Let's see. Glolgo, he wants to know, did Ric Flair have a role in bringing you into WCW?
Oh, yeah, he actually offered me the first contract, he and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Did he know your dad?
Just from the name. They never worked together.
They never wrestled together?
Mm-hmm.
Did your dad wrestle in the United States at all?
Yes, he worked for Ron Gagne.
Oh, in the AWA?
Yeah.
Cool.
And he worked in Japan and Mexico, all over the world, actually.
And the question from the board, Incher?
Let's see. What was it like working with Arn Anderson? Rios wants to know.
Just the same as Ric Flair. Unbelievable wrestler. I mean, those two guys, unbelievable, really. I learned a lot from them. I wish I get a chance to wrestle them again someday.
Yeah. How about did you like the whole Four Horsemen gimmick? Was that something you would like to be part of?
That would have been nice if I would have been part of that. Yeah, that would have definitely put more seriousness to my character. That was a real good story. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have fit in pretty good with that. Were you surprised that WWE bought WCW?
Well, not really. No. I mean, like I said, you always the last couple months in WCW, you kind of got the feeling for all the stuff what's going to happen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And what else should I have done was WCW, you know. I mean, a lot of great wrestlers in there. Would have been sad if they all been on the streets then.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you familiar with like any indie promotions in the U.S. like ROH or Pro Wrestling Guerrilla or anything like that?
Not really, no.
No.
You don't get that much data over here or info from
Mm-hmm.
the indie shows from the States.
Yeah.
You'd probably enjoy the Ring of Honor product.
Yeah. That's sometimes when you get over here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can read stuff about that.
Another guy I guess you worked with was Ultimo Dragon. Did you enjoy working with him?
Actually, there are not a lot of people that I did not work, that I did not enjoy working with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ultimo Dragon is also unbelievable. You know, he had more the Japanese stuff. You know what I liked.
Was there ever any problem with your language differences? If you were working with somebody who didn't speak German or English?
No, not really. No. Actually, it was sometimes funny for my colleagues, and they ripped me because sometimes I say stupid things and stuff like that.
Right.
But no, I never had a problem because in the ring I don't need to talk, to wrestle.
Mm-hmm. You want to give us a plug for your school in German?
Okay. Jeder, der sich hier interessiert für das Pro Wrestling, der soll zu meiner Schule, der Wright Pro Wrestling School, kommen nach Deutschland in Nürnberg und beim Alex Wright trainieren. Ihr findet Infos auf der Webseite www.prowrestlingschool.de. Danke.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Probably nobody understood now, huh?
Hopefully we get some German listeners.
Oh yeah.
I understood the donkey part.
Yeah, we understood donkey.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You talk about a lot of the funny guys in wrestling. You have any good rib stories you want to tell us?
Rib stories? Well, I don't know if the broad audience thinks that they're funny, I mean, they're pretty radical.
Right. Someone went over the line.
So I don't know if I should tell them. I don't think so. Maybe little kids are listening now. And
I don't think we have too many little kids listening to us.
No.
Sit down for the book?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, for the book. One day for the book. It's going to be a big book. The big black book. Well, I've been there for almost 9 years, so there's a lot of stories to tell.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Was Hulk Hogan an easy guy to get along with?
Yes, very easy. Very nice and very professional.
Mm-hmm.
I never had the chance to work against him, but he was really nice.
Was there anybody you didn't work with that you would have liked to?
Well, like I said, Hogan. Who else? Let me see. Hogan. Bret Hart.
Yeah, you would have a really good match with Bret Hart, I think.
Yeah. Who else? Actually, those are the main two. Well, now, of course, The Rock and the new guys, but he's out of business already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he coming back now? I read something about a comeback.
Does anyone ever really retire?
You're right. You're right. Yeah, if you have the wrestling in the blood, you never stop wrestling. You always come back.
Do you enjoy still seeing Ric Flair out there wrestling?
Yes. He's still a great performer. I mean, he has so much experience and, so many holds and, ways to wrestle. Even he looks a little bit old than he used to, but he's still great.
Yeah, he's still taking the big slam off the top of the rope.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Do you ever wish you could have done more promos, but it wasn't English wasn't your native language?
Well, actually, I thought I did a lot of promos, and I think it was enough for me. I rather wrestle than talk. Like I said, it's not that easy speaking English for me.
Right. No, you're doing
Especially,
good.
I had a German wife, so it was always like a switch for me. You know, being on the road, talking English, coming home, talking German, and back and forth. So, you know, it's not that easy.
Who was that woman that managed you when you were Berlyn?
Oh, she was just some activist that got hired for that
Okay.
storyline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, she was nice, but I actually don't know her name anymore.
Right. How many languages do you speak?
2.
English and German.
Yeah. And if you count all the dirty words in other languages, maybe more.
You can give us some here if you want.
Yeah, we wouldn't understand him anyway.
We'll have a couple people be surprised when they listen to the interview.
Yeah. No, Italy is a nice country. Just for example, I like that language.
We got one here. Gogo. He wanted to know what was it like being a Christian in the WCW locker room.
Well, actually, everybody decides his own, you know, thing. I mean, it was actually there's a lot of Christians in the locker room, so it was actually good, you know, because you could spend, you know, I see that's what I mean. It's hard to talk to me in some things in English. How we put this in English? You know, you could pray together before the match or stuff like that. You know, that was nice. You know, it makes you calm before the match. You know.
Well, everybody know again. It's the Right Stuff Pro Wrestling School, and the website's prowrestlingschool.de. And the site's in German, and there's also a link up in the corner where you could you can make it into English.
Exactly.
Anything you want to tell the fans out there?
Well, I just want to thank all my fans for being so loyal all those years. You know, especially after I've been off the TV screen for, you know, five years now. But there's so many emails I received since I, you know, opened this school up. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I don't know. Right now I wouldn't have the time to wrestle because I'm sitting all day long just to answer all those emails. No, but I'm really, really happy that so many people are still interested in Alex Wright.
Yeah. So if people want to see an Alex Wright come back, they have to stop emailing you. So you can get there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. No, probably sooner or later. You know.
Yeah.
You should never say no. But like I said, the wrestling school is my first goal now, and you know, we have a saying here in Germany: it's not good to dance at 2 weddings at once. I don't know. You have that saying in English, no?
No, we don't.
No. Well, it just means that, you know, you shouldn't be doing 2 things at the same time.
Right. I get you. All right. You want to throw out one last plug there for the web school, for the school, the wrestling school?
Well, if you are interested in learning pro wrestling, then visit the Right Stuff Pro Wrestling School at www.prowrestlingschool.de.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate you coming on here tonight.
Yeah, I thank you guys. You take care.
This is Gold Dust from Hollywood, California, or Dustin Rhodes, the son of American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. We are taking over the wrestling business, and you have been listening to In Your Head Online.